So I own a music venue, cafe, bar in Rock Island, Illinois, called Rouse Talks, and um, and we've been in business for 9 years now, and um, a lot of our business came from the creative community. I'm a bit worried about the future of my business here in Rock Island. Um, I think that I'm isolated here with a group of friends. We're five of us altogether. Only one of them has to leave the building, who still has to go to work. But we're all doing our part as far as like disinfecting and making sure we're washing hands, and if we do have to go out for provisions or whatever, we make sure we clean everything we touch when we get back in. So I don't know, we have a nice little commune going on here for the time being.
But what do you think the long-term effects are going to be on this period, on society, on you personally?
I think humans are good at adapting. So uh, life will go on. I think it's going to be a very different type of economy after this, and if it lasts a couple more months or the rest of the year or maybe a couple years, I think that's going to have very, very heavy repercussions on a lot of the small businesses that are closed right now. A lot of us are month to month, and we just don't have the reserve um, capital to keep paying utility and rent with no income. I think it's going to get um, pretty nasty economically, because most of the world is in this together. That there could be a silver lining of more compassion, um, in toward humanity, and just people in general kind of coming together and realizing that this isn't a class thing or a race thing or um, a national thing. It's worldwide. This is something that's affecting all of us.
You've spent a good amount of time in China, and you have friends in China and colleagues there.
Yeah,
Um, have you been able to stay in touch with them? I mean, they've kind of experienced this earlier than we did in some ways.
yeah, yeah. We talk often. So um, I lived there for about a decade, and uh, started doing this type of work. Had a business there for many years. I do visit once a year, and I was there last October before all this went down. Um, and as you probably know, China has shut down its borders. They're not letting foreigners in right now. Um, I've heard some crazy stories from some foreign friends there recently that they're being treated very differently. Um, you know, Much like an article or an interview I heard today on WBEZ about Asian Americans in Chicago facing a lot of racism, and it's all it's very sad. I don't think that Trump calling this the China virus helped at all. There's speculation that all the numbers that they were putting out were incorrect, which I totally believe. There's no way that only 83,000 people uh, were infected
Yeah.
in China. A ridiculously low number, considering how many people are there and how dense the population of the cities are. So yeah, this is going to change my connection with China, my physical connection with China for the foreseeable future.
Before I let you go, do you have any piece of wisdom, anything that you are keeping in mind during this time?
Yeah, I was living in China during the SARS outbreak and the H1N1, and this definitely feels you know, very different than those. And
Yeah.
I think people should really take it seriously.